Hey everyone, Tessa Lamping here. Now I got the camera to record, but now there's a delay and my microphone's kind of quiet. So, progress in one area, learning in another area. um, anyways, I wasn't able to make a July monthly recap, and so here is my July and August. Now, one thing I have severely learned or seriously learned is that it is really good to focus on just a couple setups. Now, the reason why I say it's good to focus on just a couple setups, for one, it makes tracking your trades so much easier, and it makes tracking your trades incredibly easier. What do I mean by this? Well, if you're keeping track on your own spreadsheet, then, well, I guess there is a way for you to group together your trades. That way you can count them all like that, but I need to Google how to do that. Also, if you have a ton of different trades, I mean, when you type them in order, excuse me, it's all over the place, as you can see here. So when I went to put together my monthly pattern performance, I'm up short. And now I have to take even longer to go through each of them, which I said there is a way for you to organize it, but I need to Google it. And it just really is an inefficient way to track your data if you have tons of different patterns. But it is doable. Like, I use TraderSync. This is my favorite online trading journal that tracks everything for me. If I'm using E-Trade, I just copy and paste the data when I click Add Trade. Or if I use my Schwab, I can just import the files. So they make it incredibly easy for me to track my trades. Now, I use the elite version of TraderSync. So when I want to know my pattern performance, I click on my evaluator and it automatically calculates this information for me, which I am incredibly grateful for. So, if you're having troubles with using your different spreadsheets and everything just seems so stressful and a mess, I highly, highly, highly recommend using TraderSync. I'll leave a link below. Now, anyways, I want to get into my July, where I learned that I took how many trades did I take in July? I took about 68 or 58. See, I get all messed up. I believe it's the 68 trades in July, and that accounted, let's see, double check. So I'm off on my counting again. Was it 68 or 58? Oh, I'd have to go through and count all of these. Anyways, let me go to TraderSync. July 1st through the 31st, apply dates. So, anyways, I took 58 or 68 trades in July, 10 of which were OTCs, and out of those 10 OTC trades, 8 of those were winning, which made up a majority of my month last month in July. So that was really cool to figure out. And then I like to go to monthly. And then I go to view report. And this, I have my commissions and fees calculated in. So I had a really great July, which is an awesome beginning. And as you can see, after my losses calculated in, I managed to sneak out with $112. My biggest loss was only $11.64 versus my biggest profit, which was $48.21. Biggest profit 7.14%. My biggest loser was 4.14%. Let's see. So I had 67 total trades, which you can have them tracked individually or you can group them together. So the reason why it says 67 trades is because, say I traded a stock twice, then it can group it together. So that's something that does change because it can group it by the days too under that one ticker. But I really love how it tracks that. Versus where, yeah, so I put here that I had 68 trades because that's counting it individually. So one ticker, it's counting twice. That's how I got that. But I'm really proud because I managed to stick to one pattern with OTCs, and that really made my entire month. Just 8 trades made my entire month, which I think is pretty cool. Now, you can see how I went from trading one pattern to a bunch of patterns, and it's just a mess trying to track it myself, which I um, messaged Kyle Williams last night. He's one of Tim Sykes' multi-millionaire students, and I asked him for help by purchasing one of his spreadsheets. He sells his spreadsheets, and I made a mimic like one of his. So this is what I came up with after watching his YouTube video lesson, which I'll leave a link below so that way you can have access to his spreadsheets as well and you can buy them. And it's so organized. Mine, not nearly as pretty as his, and he has the experience. So I highly, highly recommend you messaging him. And it's only $30 to get his spreadsheet, and he's made a couple million. So I think it's worth it. Anyways, so my August has not been as well performing as July. Also, the SEC has required or made a new regulation where brokers cannot allow traders to trade OTC stocks that are not current on their SEC filings. So, Schwab has been limiting every ticker that's not current on their SEC filings, which is frustrating because there's been 500% gainers, 100% gainers, and I am not allowed to trade them on Schwab currently. Right now, I am able to trade them with E-Trade, but I believe that all ends September 28th, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Anyways, I just wanted to really talk about how you need to focus on very few setups. Now, my best trades this month has been scaling out. So you can see this right here on July. That was my statistics. Now let me go to August, which I apologize, my internet is a little slow right now. So it's taking a little extra to load. Anyways, my August, like I said, it's pretty sloppy. You can see that my biggest profit was $70, but my biggest loser was $53. That's because I'm trying too many patterns right now. And although I've been studying them, I need to focus on the best patterns that are working right now. I mean, it doesn't hurt to practice those, But definitely, if I'm going to practice different patterns than my bread and butter, then I need to keep small size, which is why I love Schwab, because they have zero commissions, even for OTCs, versus E-Trade, where my commissions are $4.95 in and $4.95 out currently. Now, my win percent is 55% in August, but I my average on winners is only 3.3%, and my average on losers is 2.2%, because I'm just all over the place. My biggest profit was only 10.51%, but my biggest loss was 12.16%, which is actually going backwards than my goal. My goal is to keep my losers under 5% ideally, and I would prefer my winners to be double my losers. Although I am averaging $9.80 on winners and $8.72 cents on losers, which needs to increase. Now I have 49 total trades. I am winning more than I'm losing, but it just needs to be better. And let me pull up stocks to trade here real quick and get into some charts. My best trade in August, I believe, was LCLP. I also have other video recaps throughout the month on different patterns, or the same bread and butter patterns, but during the tickers right after they happen. So LCLP, as you can see right here, it recorded my scaling out as multiple trades, where sometimes it will include it all under one trade, which you can choose to do. So August. In August, there was one ticker, WDLF, where it was a beautiful pattern, but I had a lot to learn. So with OTCs, if you have the spike consolidation spike pattern that I speak about on other YouTube videos, you can see where, on 8/19, so we'll go 15 days ago, 1 minute. It spikes, consolidates, and spikes right here. Oops, too fast for my computer. This day was gorgeous, or pretty close to it. It had a beautiful spike in the morning. It consolidated here where you could have bought the volume perk right there, held, and then locked in singles along the way, risking this area. So if it broke below right here and this is your risk, you'd probably get spooked out right here. But it did reclaim, and so you could have a re-entry up here, risking down here, or you could buy the volume perk right here, risking roughly right around here or right there, and then hold for the second run. This is what I'm working on, and I give a detailed plan on how to practice this in real time, so that way you can figure out a plan to prepare yourself for holding OTCs longer. So thanks to Stratty, he has been helping me incredibly, because he saw how much I was struggling on these patterns, because I would buy right here and quickly sell right here just to lock in a small single, and I would just sell all my shares and I would have the key risk, but I was just in and out too quickly and not capitalizing on the full potential of the patterns. And his help has been a complete game changer, because now I'm buying, say right here, I'll take full size, I'm risking roughly, so if I'm getting it at 0.007475, and say I'm risking .0071. So I'm risking .0003 roughly. So I'm in at .0075, and so 5, 6, 7, 8, because you got, say I'm in it, well, maybe even .0079, because if I'm at 0.5 risking 7.1, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, well, it's 4. If I'm getting out at 7.1 and I'm in at 7.5, there's 4. So that means if I'm in at 7.5, I want to sell a chunk at .0079, which is 4 above the 5, for a break-even risk. And so if I take a good chunk off at .0079, which is right up here, that pretty much has me close to break even for if I need to get out at .0071 if the pattern spikes up and then fails. But you could even say you could risk right here, but I don't like having too wide of a risk. I'd rather just cut it quickly and then re-enter if the pattern reclaims. But say you take your first chunk off at .0079, then you hold through the pullback and then it goes again. This is a breakout level. So you could take another chunk off into here and then hold the rest. And then you could even buy or add more shares since you took some off here and add more shares on right here as it breaks out and sell into strength there. Hold through this pullback because it holds this level, and then you can keep selling into strength. And then if it keeps breaking out, you can sell after some good consolidation. I'd say this is more better consolidation than, I don't see any real consolidation up here. Pardon me. But it's just great risk to reward. It's incredible. And thanks to Stratty teaching me this, I was able to have that $70 win. I was able to reclaim my, was it July or August? I was really able to, I think it was July, where I started beginning this. Was it? So I'm pretty sure it was July, because I don't see it in here. Yeah, because July I started being consistent. So July is where I started holding longer, and the pattern has just been incredible. Scaling out has been incredible, and just focusing on this setup and not worrying about everything else. I'm just so grateful. But as you can see, that spike consolidation, you can even buy it right here at .007 as it starts to come up, risking .0068. So if you buy it at .007, risking .0068, you sell your first chunk at .0072, which I believe I actually did. WDLF. Right here. So I had yeah, this is where he saw that I was struggling. So on WDLF, I was buying at .0069, selling at .0068, because there was a lot of sellers, like big, heavy sellers on the ask. If you want to know about ask in level 2, I can leave a link to learn level 2 down below. But Stratty was explaining to me that with the big sellers, if the stock is not panicking and the buyers are still trying to take out the sellers, then maybe you should hold on a little bit longer and just watch it, understand it. Because big traders, if you know Jack Kellogg, he takes huge size in OTCs. So he needs those big sellers so he can buy into them, so that way he can get good size. And after he explained that to me, it completely changed my entire thought process trading OTCs. Instead of taking quick losses in and out, because I think that the ask is going to just completely tank the stock, even though the buyers keep chipping away at it and there's less buyer size than sell size. You can see the little paper cuts and the little trades and how I'm not maximizing the strategy. So After Stratty brought that to my attention, and that completely changed the way I was trading and allowed me to make a $70 win on TPTW. So instead of seeing this and then selling, I can hold here, risk right here, and then just keep holding and selling along the way because I'm not afraid, because I understand the level 2 a lot better thanks to Stratty. I've only been doing this recently, so I'm getting much better, but I have him to thank all the way. So 25, yeah, so that was the day. So I'll go 10 days. 10 days should work. And I'm using stocks to trade. I love stocks to trade. So let's see here. It's the 25th. So I'm really proud of this trade because I'm beginning to apply his advice. And it feels really good. And I even sold too soon because my goal is to hold it until it hits my risk. Now let me double check to see where I entered. TPT 0.0333, so it should be there, right? Yeah, so right in here. You might be wondering why I entered in here instead of up here or even right here. The reason why I entered so low, which was below VWAP, because I've been seeing Stratty's Instagram posts where it's just below VWAP, but it panics below and then starts reclaiming and then makes this huge comeback. And so I tried it. I bought in at 0.033, risking about the 0.031 level. So if I'm in at 0.033, risking 0.031, that's 0.002. So at 0.00 or 0.035, I'm taking off for about break even roughly, or even anywhere up to here. And so thanks to my little sells, what was my best sell? I just sold into strength probably a little too much. 0.036, I believe, was my best sell. So this is what I was talking about, where TraderSync can group your multiple cells under one ticker. So you can see that I bought my shares right in here and it's 0.033. I did take off some a little bit too soon. And then right here is where I was getting a little nervous because I thought it was getting a little bit heavy on the ask. And so I just took off a few more to make me feel comfortable for the break even level. And then as it got higher, I just kept selling into strength. Now, I didn't reach up here. I sold everything by this first little push. And I thought I was doing well. It wasn't bad for a beginner learning this, but it never hit my risk. So I need to trust my risk, trust the pattern, not be afraid of losing, or I break even, whoop-de-doo. So I lock in some profits, take my singles, and then just keep holding. YOLO. YOLO the stocks. Because I'll either make a really good profit, play the pattern. It is about the pattern, not the profits. Process over profits. So that is my biggest thing that I'm going to be focusing on here in September. I should focus just on the spike consolidation, spike pattern, as I like to call it. But I also would like to be fairly well adversed in other patterns. I know they'll come eventually and I need to focus on the one. So if I can put majority of my focus on this bread and butter spike consolidation spike pattern, then I'm golden. And then I can take really small size or smaller size on these other ones so I can work on my skills so I can get better on those too. It's really tough because Mariana, she talks about how trying your patterns and just getting better at them. And then other traders, they talk about focusing on one specific pattern, getting good at that first, and then venturing out to other patterns. It's just really tough. I it's up to the individual, and I have a hard time because it just doesn't hurt to learn, maybe paper trade the new patterns or the other patterns, but overall, it's good to keep learning and then putting a good majority of your energy and your mind into your bread and butter patterns, the best patterns, so that way you're not spending other mental capital that you can't reclaim. So I think it's just about training your brain, training your focus, and maximizing opportunities. Now, I apologize for not getting into too many charts this time, but I just really wanted to focus on organization, because having all these different patterns that I was just trying to organize myself has just been a mess. Versus, thankfully, I have TraderSync that organizes my mind for me, but it just goes to show the chaos versus where if it's just organized like this. Also, that's why I'm grateful for Kyle, that he makes a really easy template too. So that is a recap of my July and August. I made about, here, I'll show you real quick. I made $111 in July, and I made roughly $90 in August. So my trading account is finally growing, which is just a great feeling. So definitely making some progress. I can even show you my evaluator, my performance evaluator. So if I'm only focusing on panic dip buys and the spike consolidation spike pattern, you can see at first where I was not very good at this pattern. And I was even down wondering if I should even focus on this pattern. But because I did put a lot of time and energy into studying this and taking this pattern seriously, you can even see that my pattern spikes, consolidates, and spikes. Consolidates and spikes, consolidates and probably keeps spiking. Now this one that's really low, you can see that I put NA because the setup is not available. There's no pattern that I'm trading, and I've lost a lot of money because I'm trading random stuff. So if I cut out the random trades that I'm not good at, and focus on my spike consolidation spike pattern, or even OTC panic dip buys that I'm really good at, then you can even see I lost $406 on random setups, and I've made $410. That only puts me green, net $4. That's terrible now, that thanks to TraderSync for pointing it out to me. But I've done 171 trades and I've lost that much, and I've only done 75 trades to make that much. Makes me think that I need to stop taking random trades if the statistics are right here. So, anyways, I hope you learned something from my July-August recap, and I will see you for next videos, and I'm working on the quality. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you, and good night.